what's in your contract to be able to communicate with. We're not trying to break any rules or ruin our plight.
She said she didn't think right now. Not right now.
Okay, very good. And
I think she said all I hear is change. Like there's a bunch of changes supposed to happen.
oh, she said there's changes that are happening on the planet?
With Rico.
Oh, with Rico.
Yeah.
Very good. Really positive changes?
Growth, yes.
Very good. And what does she foresee in terms of growth changes with you that she could just share with you since you're there and you're communicating?
Just to grow fuller, more aware of the world.
And when you say more aware, does she mean in terms
more connected to things?
To the big picture?
Yes, to people, to spirituality.
Oh, and spirituality. So is your mom familiar with Hank besides meeting him that one time?
They've never met before.
Well, I met her at your birthday party.
Previously, they've never met.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said.
Well, she was so friendly to me. She said I had great energy. Tell her I said thank you. She said could her corporeal self really feel my energy?
She said you made her feel warm and relaxed and friendly. She could feel your good heart.
Oh, very good. Very, very good. Does she know what you and I are doing right now?
No.
I want you to tell her, say, Mom, I'm on I'm induced.
She knows, but my physical mom doesn't know.
Oh, okay, totally understood. So she knows what we're doing here then. Yeah, her higher self knows. Yeah. And ask her that, she knows that Rico knows that he has guides, and can she just bring out one that you can communicate with, please? Just one.
It's up to, all I hear is that it's not her decision.
Well, okay.
It's up to them.
And are they purposely not trying to commune with you, or?
She said, I think no. I haven't worked out.
Ask her, are you the one who's holding them back as opposed to them holding themselves back?
No. She said no.
She says no?
Yeah, she said no.
So you're not holding them back?
No.
So they can come forward then. Tell her the last time you did this, you struggled, but then it happened and you were taken to the future. Was she there? Did she observe that when you went into the future?
She said she did not.
She did not?
No.
Oh, very good. And is there anything else that she could possibly share with you while you're there?
She said, don't be afraid.
And what would you possibly be afraid of?
Things changing with the employment environment.
Could you say
So
that?
Things changing with job, employment environment.
Oh, very good. Because is she saying that's going to work out perfectly?
Yes.
Very good. And does she foresee you moving to California?
Yes.
And so, okay, very good. And does she foresee you moving to California within the next 3 months?
Yes.
Very good. And finding a really good job as well?
Yes.
Very good. And how long do you think? Okay, it doesn't matter. That's good. And what about the San Andreas fault? Well, you won't have to worry about any of
She
that.
said not a problem.
Not a problem. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And can she see from her as her higher self some of the major changes that are taking place on the earth?
All I hear her say is peace. There will be more peace.
Peace on earth.
Yes.
That's going to be wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And so, futuristically, does she foresee you eventually, in your later years, moving back to Houston? Or to Texas?
She said choice. I will have a choice.
Oh, very good.
And she doesn't know what I will make.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. And, you know, you're really grateful for her coming through this time because it was pretty hard for you to go under last time with your such an analytical mind that you have, and now you've been able to put all that aside and really get into your right brain and your creative side, and this is wonderful. Ask her, how many times, just curious if she knows, how many times have you been to the planet Earth in a corporeal body?
6?
Oh, she says 6 times?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. And where could she, like, say the time frame of the last life that you were in on the planet Earth?
1800s.
1800s. And were you male or female?
No.
Ah, very good. Did she know what your name was?
Frank?
Ah, very good. Frank. Any last name?
She didn't tell me.
Ah, very good. And what about the life before that? What years were you on the planet?
16 something.
And were you male or female in that life?
Female.
Oh, very good. And what was your name in that life?
Edwina.
Edwina. So when you were Frank, which continent or which country did you live in?
I don't know.
That's okay. And what about as Edwina, where did you live?
It wasn't here.
It wasn't in the United States?
No, it wasn't where we are now.
Oh, okay. So possibly Europe then?
Yeah, I was over there.
Oh, very good. And now that's 2 lives back. In this life you're... And what about the life before Edwina?
13 or 14, somewhere around there.
In the 1300s? And were you a male or female?
Well,
You were a male in that life. And what was your name in that life?
Ismael.
Ismael. So Ismael, Edwina, and Frank. And so can she tell you as Ismael, what year again? What?
Like late 1300s.
1300s into the 1400s then. Very good. And possibly the year before, the lifetime before then?
So like 8 or 900s.
Very good. And what was your name then? Who were you? Were you male or female?
I was a male.
Very good. And what was the name she recalls?
No, she didn't tell me.
Oh, okay.
It was in the Roman something.
Oh, you were
Somewhere
in that area of the country, you say?
Yeah.
And ask her, you said female again, correct?
Male.
So you're a male. And ask her, could she tell you the name?
Nothing goes to mind. She didn't say anything.
Very good. And the only reason why we were asking is we wanted to try and figure out how many times you'd been on the planet and how much information we could gather from that. And that's amazing. Tell her thank you. Just thank her, thank her, thank her. And so you did have a question about Mark, who's living with you now. We'll call is Mark. You were told that you had a connection with Mark through a psychic. And
we've loved each other before.
Ah, you guys have loved each other before. And which was he in any of those 3 lives that you just named?
I think he was in the first one.
Oh, in the first one on the planet or the Frank?
The latest one, the Frank, the
Oh.
1800.
Ah, very good. And that life, what was his role? Was he?
He was my daughter.
Ah, he was your daughter. Beautiful. And what about the life before then? Was he involved in that life?
It wasn't here, it was somewhere else.
When you say somewhere else, do you mean on another planet or in a different dimension?
A different dimension.
Ah, very good. And in that dimension,
It's not physical, we just loved each other in that dimension.
Oh, very
We
good.
weren't physical.
So were you energy entities?
Yes.
Ah, very good. And how long did you live in those lifespans as energy entities in linear time frame?
Thousands of years.
Oh, very good.
He's a soulmate.
He is a soulmate. Very good. And what initially brought you to the planet Earth?
To help change the environment.
So through all of the 6 lives that you've been living, have you been helping the planet change or transform?
Not until recently.
Oh, not until recently. So was it a decision that you made between the life as Frank and the life as Rico to when you come in this time that you would help?
Yes.
And so the purpose of your life here as Rico, what is the purpose of your life here as Rico?
To help change the environment.
Oh, very good.
People. Support people.
So you're to help change and to help support people.
Yes.
Very, very good. And the mark number 1, the first mark that you met for that short time, what was the purpose of that
To
relationship?
teach Rico a lesson that he needs to learn to love himself.
Ah, very good. To teach him a lesson to learn to love himself. Because what was he doing in that relationship? Was he loving the other person more than himself?
Sometimes.
And has he learned from that lesson then?
Yes.
Oh, very good.
But the Mark could not love him the way he loved him. The way Rico loved Mark.
But that worked out perfectly, did it not?
Yes, it always does.
Very, very good.
It's always perfect.
It's always perfect. And there was a life that you visited with one of your first quantum healing hypnosis therapy sessions, and you visited the future. Was that the future here on the planet Earth?
Yes.
Very good. And could they tell you what year? What year was that in?
100 years from now.
Oh, okay. So you're going to be hanging out around the planet Earth for a while, huh?
Different life. She said Rico might have different life.
Oh, okay.
Different. Maybe different incarnation.
Oh, a different incarnation. And so all of the incarnations are happening simultaneously, are they not?
Yes.
So you went back, you said 4 of the different lives and 4 different names. What was the first time that Rico came to the planet Earth? Was he male or female, or was he a humanoid at all?
She doesn't know.
Oh, very good. And what about let's see, Frank, Edwina, there was a Ismael, and there was another before that? From like the 800s or 900s?
She's not telling me.
Ah, very good. Well, that's pretty amazing. And she personally has never been with you in any of those lives at all?
No.
And what brought you two together again?
To learn from each other.
Oh, very good.
She's very supportive.
Very, very good. And does she know of any connection that you may have with Hank?
Hank will help Rico. Hank will support and help learn.
And help Rico learning and help?
Yeah, help Rico grow.
So our friendship is healthy?
Very.
Oh, very.
She said yes.
Very good. Very, very good. And Rico really did have a desire to know. He has a feeling that although you're showing yourself as his mom, that you have another connection. Is that Hank's imagination, or is this true?
It's part of your higher self, too. Rico's higher self.
So
they can mix together.
Oh, okay, and they're connecting with through the image of your mom?
Yeah.
So it's the image of your mom because it makes you feel comfortable and safe. Is that it?
It's also her higher self.
And her higher self as well.
And some of mine.
So they're blending in order to have this communication.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Very beautiful. And so in the other dimension, since we're here and we're doing this session, we had a bunch of questions, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we're just trying to, feel it out because, you're going through a huge transition, and obviously you say everything's going to work out perfectly and you're going to be able to get to Cisco and the job is going to be there and the children are coming and the perfect mate and all of those wonderful things, and that's really good. Ask them, do they foresee how the consciousness shift that's taking place on the planet will really kick into full gear with us here on the planet?
It's already getting there.
Is it going to get to a point to where it'll be like at a tipping point where the vibration will get so high that there's going to be the leap will have been made?
They said yes, but nothing great will change.
And how?
They said people will just learn to love.
Very.
Because there's not very much love right now, the way everything is going on.
But there's a lot of love. Is there a lot of love being projected onto the planet?
Yes.
And is that love being projected by extra dimensionals?
Well, she says it's not from here, it's from somewhere else.
From different dimensions?
Yeah.
So are they watching the planet as it's going through this transition?
She used the word caring for.
They're caring for it. Very good. And what
They say
about...
it's special. They say it's special over here.
The Earth is special?
Yes.
In which capacity? How so?
There's a lot of light, and there has the potential for much more.
A lot of light, she says?
Yes, and the potential is there for a much greater capacity.
And is it true that we are, that at the center of the galaxy, that we call it the central sun, are we passing through a photon belt of high energetics right now?
They don't know the name of what the photon belt, they just know that the energy is very high right now.
Is that because where we are in space that we're passing through this energetic field?
They say it's just something about this point in time. There's a lot of energy because of it.
Very good. And that means the wars will eventually stop and
there will be peace.
And what about the diseases and all those things? Will there be cures? And,
There will be cures.
and
However, the word diseases will still persist with people, with worrying and choices that people make.
Dis-ease.
They choose to do it.
Ah, very good.
That's their conscious choice.
And these will be conscious choices or subconscious choices?
They will be subconscious choices that people will make.
Okay, so she sees the love and the propensity for more love and more light on the planet at this particular time.
Yes.
That love and that light, will it just keep increasing and increasing, or will it level off at one point?
It will keep increasing and increasing.
And it's never going to drop again, is what I've heard.
It may fluctuate, but it will never drop significantly.
Not into the depths of density that it has been thus far?
No.
Ah, very good. And what about our interaction on this planet with other entities that are...
It will be through feeling.
Say it again?
Feeling will be a major source. You can feel the entity, the dog. You can feel the dog, the emotion, the person emotion.
So these are the sort of gifts that come along with this heightened energetics?
Yeah, you can feel the other person. Some people already do.
And will it get to
Rico cannot.
Rico cannot?
No.
Hank is feeling them?
Yes.
He is, yes. Okay, but Rico will be there soon, though, correct?
Yes.
Because Rico's working pretty hard on it with the meditation and all the things that he's doing. Are all of those things which are helping him?
Yes.
And so he's not wasting his time in any way, shape, or form, is he?
No.
Very, very good. And what about, we spoke of extra dimensionals. Even at one point, you guys, we were extra dimensionals, or dimension, not from this dimension. What about extraterrestrials?
They're here.
They're here as well.
Mm-hmm.
And is Rico connected to any of the extraterrestrial races?
No.
Is Hank?
Yes.
And is he connected with those Praymantis entity, the Praymantis race?
She doesn't know.
No, that's okay. And how does she know that Hank is connected with those ETs?
Because she was too at one point and she feels it.
Very, very good. Very, very good. And you say they're here. It keeps coming through these sessions that we're doing that they're going to be making themselves known here on the planet by 2017 and maybe earlier if the vibration keeps rising as quickly as it has. Do they foresee that?
That's a possibility. It depends how people evolve.
Very good.
They will come when the time is right.
And which extraterrestrial races, out of curiosity, was she connected with? Your mom?
She said the one closest to Earth.
Would that be the Pleiades?
I think she said Play. I can't pronounce it. Pleiadian?
Palladian?
Yeah, something like that.
Very good. So she...
I never heard it before.
Understood. That just helps validate it. So the Pleiadians.
Yeah, whatever it sounds like that.
Okay.
If they're close to Earth, then that's what it is.
Very good. They're in the Pleiades system. That's an area of the star cluster where they call the Seven Sisters, if I'm not correct. I hope I'm correct.
She said you are.
Very good. And she was connected to them then, yes?
Yes.
Very good. And because she physically gave birth to you in this dimension as one of your child, does that connect you to them as well?
She said not in this life, not right now.
Very good. And she said that they're here, but does she foresee them making their presence known on the planet in the next couple of years?
In time, yes.
And is that
Less than 10.
less than 10? So that's going to change everything, isn't it?
Not really.
It'll be more natural because we'll be more loving, huh?
Yes.
Oh, understood.
The purpose will not be for anything harmful, but it will be to help.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And how does she, you know, that you have a master's degree in engineering? And we were speaking earlier today at lunch about the technology on the planet and even the sciences and a lot of that information that is on the planet right now. Is there technology being hidden or kept from us, the masses?
A bit of it, yes.
Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, a bit of it.
A bit of it?
Classified for military use.
It's classified for military use.
Yes.
And so,
also to protect. It can be dangerous in the wrong hands.
Understood. But are they using any of this technology on their level?
Not to hurt.
Very good.
Consciously not to hurt.
So.
But they don't know what they're doing.
Very, very good. And is that another reason why a lot of the extraterrestrials are around the planet, making sure that it doesn't get out of hand?
They're here just to observe. They will step in if they need to.
And what would give them means or the rights to step in?
If they sense destruction.
Very good. Very good. So, at one point when there is contact made, and of course there will be such a high loving vibration, we will be able to integrate that technology into here on the planet then?
Yes.
And I have a feeling Rico
will help.
He's going to make a huge contribution.
Rico has asked to do that in his dream before.
Can you say that again, please?
Rico has asked to do that in his dream before.
Very good.
He wants to know how it works.
Very good.
But he can't understand yet. He's not ready.
He's not ready. Totally understood. But one of the things that I was telling him that there was more technology and they were...
And Rico will understand how it works eventually.
Very good. Very good. And in this lifetime, correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
He will need to stay grounded, though.
He will need to stay grounded.
Yes.
But that after
knowledge is power. He will be in a good position.
Very good. So he's going to make a wonderful contribution to the planet then.
Yes, if he chooses, if he will.
I think he will. I think he really, really will. So just with that thought in mind and along the lines of this conversation, we were speaking also at lunch about just information that we've picked up from other QHHT sessions and from channelers and all of that. They said that our military already has a base on Mars.
Yes.
Is this true?
Yes.
Very good. And I mean, so that means they knew how to use that technology enough to get them there, is that correct?
It's not very evolved.
But yet, they're still able to get there.
It's very slow, yes.
See, the reason why we bring...
It took them a long time.
It took them a long time?
Yes, extraterrestrial could get there very quickly in an instant.
Extraterrestrials can, but how...
It took us years.
Yes, so they've been back engineering the crashed flights here?
No, they have not used any information from extraterrestrial crafts. It's just the innovation that they have made themselves.
Very interesting.
Which is why it is so slow.
But when Rico was in school, he didn't get any of that in his master's degree as he was being educated.
No, it's classified.
Very classified. I just wanted to make sure he knew because we spoke of it, and it might sound sort of crazy to say, yeah, the government's on the Mars, and Do they have bases on the moon as well?
Yes, that is validity.
Oh, and spirituality. So is your mom familiar with Hank besides meeting him that one time?
They've never met before.
Well, I met her at your birthday party.
Previously, they've never met.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said.
Well, she was so friendly to me. She said I had great energy. Tell her I said thank you. She said, could her corporeal self really feel my energy?
She said you made her feel warm and relaxed and friendly. She could feel your good heart.
Oh, very good. Very, very good. Does she know what you and I are doing right now?
No.
I want you to tell her, say, Mom, I'm on I'm induced.
She knows, but things changing with job, employment, and Mark.
Oh, very good. Because she said, what is she saying? That's going to work out perfectly.
Yes.
Very good. And does she foresee you moving to California?
Yes.
And so, okay, very good. And does she foresee you moving to California within the next 3 months?
Yes.
Very good. And finding a really good job as well?
Yes.
Very good. And how long do you think? Okay, it doesn't matter. That's good. And what about the San Andreas fault? Well, you won't have to worry about any of that.
She said not a problem.
Not a problem. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And can she see from her, as her higher self, some of the major changes that are taking place on the earth?
All I hear her say is peace. There will be more peace.
Peace on earth.
Yes.
That's going to be wonderful. What's in your contract to be able to communicate with? We're not trying to break any rules or ruin our plight.
She said she didn't think right now. Not right now.
Okay, very good. And
I think she said all I hear is change. Like there's about change is supposed to happen.
Oh, she said there's changes that are happening on the planet?
With Rico.
Oh, with Rico.
Yeah.
Very good. Really positive changes?
Growth, yes.
Very good. And what does she foresee in terms of growth changes with you that she could just share with you since you're there and you're communicating?
Just to grow fuller, more aware of the world.
And when you say more aware, does she mean in
more connected to things?
To the big picture?
Yes, to people, to spiritual knowledge. My physical knowledge.
Oh, okay, totally understood. So she knows what we're doing here then. Yeah, her higher self knows. Yeah. And ask her that, she knows that Rico knows that he has guides. And can she just bring out one that you can communicate with, please? Just one.
It's up to, all I hear is that it's not her decision.
Well, okay.
She says it's up to them.
And are they purposely not trying to commune with you, or?
She said, I think no. I hear the word no.
Ask her, are you the one who's holding them back as opposed to them holding themselves back?
No. She said no.
She says no?
Yeah, she said no.
So you're not holding them back?
No.
So they can come forward then. Tell her the last time you did this, you struggled, but then it happened and you were taken to the future. Was she there? Did she observe that when you went into the future?
She said she did not.
She did not?
No.
Oh, very good. And is there anything else that she could possibly share with you while you're there?
She said, don't be afraid.
And what would you possibly be afraid of?
Things changing with the employment and Mark.
Could you say
So
that